What's up, guys? Mom and the Kid here, back again. How's everybody doing? Here to review this week's episode of Supergirl. Yeah, I got the House of L crest on my shirt. Yeah, got to. Um, and this episode is called, I want to make sure I get this right, The Last Children of Krypton. This was the second episode of the season, and also the second episode with Superman, played by Mr. Tyler Hoechlin, who, in my opinion, has done a fantastic job as Superman, being the, what is he, the fourth, fifth on the small screen. I'm trying to remember everybody who's been on that, but he's just done a bang up job. He makes you believe he's Superman. He gives off the impression. His chemistry with Miss Bionis is great, and I loved it. I thought it was great. So this episode kind of picks up where the last episode ended, where we see um, John Corbin, being fixed and modified as Metallo. And by Cadmus, he gets the 411 that Cadmus has made him into who he is, and things like that. But in the meantime, we see that Kara is just really enjoying being around her cousin, and there's one scene here that just cracks me up, is where the two stop a they stop a robbery, and the the she stops the car. They try to back up. They run into Superman, and Superman says, "Oh, I'm with her." And the two guys come out and they start shooting at them. Of course, we all know what's going to happen. So then this stupid guy goes up to him and punches Superman, probably shattered his whole arm. And Superman says something that I'll never forget, because it's honestly the truth. He says, "So the bullets didn't work, so you think punching me was the right thing to do?" And I laughed at that scene because it was so funny, and it's legit. Like, I never understood that in comics. I never understood that on other shows. These guys are shooting at Superman, seeing the bullets bounce off him, and then they try to hit him with some kind of other object that don't work. Um, but it still all revolves around Cadmus, which is interesting. Superman is still wary and untrusting of John, because of the whole situation of him keeping kryptonite around. When the duo does fight John Corbin, they nearly get killed. And there's a classic scene of Superman holding Kara from a classic cover, which is really cool. I thought that was a great homage. And Superman really gets on John. He really lets him have it. Um, there's another scene. Then there's also Cadmus then decides to make another Metallo. That right there, I kind of felt, I was like, why? I really felt, why did you make another one? Because basically what they were saying was Corbin was the prototype. They made another one just in case. And I was just like, no, that takes away from him holding the true title of Metallo. That's Metallo. He's John Corbin. He's not nobody else. I was a little, that was my little nitpick with that. Um, we see Kara meeting her new boss, Snapper Carr, who is nothing like his uh his comic counterpart, or the counterpart we saw in Justice League, the cartoon. He's kind of wary. He looks like a drunk, and even more, he don't like Kara. He doesn't like Kara. Um, and Kara's like kind of like, she kind of gets scolded, and she kind of runs back off to Cat Grant, like, tell him to do this and things. It was like, okay. We do get to see some more drama issues that um uh such was holding on to, because Kara after a while starts thinking that maybe she should move to Metropolis to be closer to Clark. And unfortunately, Alex, she kind of lets it out of the bag. Like, there's some little jealousy in between that as well. And Wynn gives her some good advice, which is real cool. But in terms of them dealing with Metallo, Wynn creates this kind of shield that goes across the crest here. It's just across the crest. So miraculously, when Corbin is they're shooting out their energy beams of kryptonite. It's miraculously just shooting at that area on their chest. It's not going in their face or anything. I was just like, okay. Um, but Cadmus makes their presence known, but doesn't show who they are. They do it behind like a monarch, kind of like Oracle, and attack Metropolis. We get to see Metropolis for the first time. Um, Clark really feels bad because he wasn't there to protect it, and it feels like they're trying to divide the team. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. We know what happens. We see Metallo fighting Kara and Alex, who puts back on like that bio suit that she had, and I remember seeing her get punched dead in the face, dead in the chest by Corbin, and I'm like, I know that stuff is that suit that she was supposed to make her strong, but it doesn't make her durable. I don't remember making her, and it just was really funny. Some of the stuff you had to like, okay, really, nah, okay, that didn't work. But you see John and Superman fight the other Metallo, which, like I said, I didn't like that. I was like, it should have just been Metallo, but they're able to defeat them, take the kryptonite out of them. I like how Jean was able to take one kryptonite out of the guy, and you can see like they made up at the end. Really good to see. One of my favorite scenes is seeing Superman tell Kara, I love you, Kara, and she said it back. That's the kind of stuff you want to see between the super cousins. Like, yeah, and he flies off and goes back to Metropolis. They're texting really quick, and it was back to normal. This was a good episode, um, and now the war is on between uh, Cadmus and DOA, the DO, the DEO, excuse me. We also get to see that Kat is leaving. She's taking a leave of absence. We all knew that was coming because the actress, she was only gonna make a recurrence, like she wasn't gonna be on the show for a long time. Miss Flockhart, yeah. Um, and now Jimmy has taken over her role. Kara puts the lowdown on Snapper. It's like, look here, read it here, you prick, and things like that. And she's coming into her own. She's moving forward. Um, this episode was good. I did enjoy it. Can't say anything. No, can't not put any more emphasis on how Mr. Hoachland did as Superman. And who knows? I'm telling you right now because I've already seen that there may be some speculations of a Superman spinoff. I don't know how busy Mr. Hoachland is to, but I would kind of be I would be all for him getting his own series. The just thing is that I don't want the CW to be so oversaturated with the superhero shows. They already got four. Well, if you count iZombie, which is another comic related show, then technically there's five. But a good episode. Last Children of Krypton was good, and of course the man who was in the pod wakes up and is choking Kara. Um, but a good episode nonetheless. So that is it, sports fans. Tell me what you thought about this episode. Tell me what you thought about Mr. Hoachland's performance as Superman. Do you like it as much as I do? Um, pretty much one of the biggest things I'm looking for is seeing McGann. I know she's coming soon. I just don't know which episode, but I'm looking forward to seeing Ms. Martian very much. But other than that, guys, this is Mom Burner Kid. Peace and love. Stay tuned. Keep it real. Keep supporting the show. Um, and let's just enjoy the ride. I'm out. You guys take care.